about what your ruler's up to, because I think it's really important to understand the aspects that your ruler is going through at the time of at this. I think. Hi Gemini, this is Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for the month of April. Now for you, your ruler is going to initially start out in Aries, and it's going to be that way until about the 5th of April. So what you were really trying to do when your ruler is sitting in Aries is it was about you were making some really big changes that had to do with your immediate environment, and it was something that you felt, I think, would make the change that you need to. So you're moving toward hope. You're moving toward a dream. You're moving toward social acceptance. And you're thinking that this change, this revelation that you have, mindset that you have, is going to meet your immediate needs. Come after the 5th, Mercury drops into Taurus, and what I deeply believe is at this point you become very, very reflective. Now, I do want to let you know that Mercury is going to retrograde in Taurus, and it will retrograde from about April 28th until about May 22nd. And this is all going to be happening in that part of the chart that has to deal with the way that we process our lives on a very internal level. So this is what we do behind the scenes. This is how we assess our situation, both past and present. So for some of us, when we drop into a retrograde, when Mercury drops into a retrograde, of course it's not forward movement. But retrograde cycles all have to do with the fact that we need to reflect and reconsider and recall our life lessons, especially in the Taurian energy. The Taurian energy for that would be, the lesson would be, what we're really assessing our wants and our needs, both intangible and tangible. So it's very important for you to really make sure that you're aligning your life completely with these very basic questions. Often, if we are in forward energy, readjust. If we're in forward energy, then what it really does is redirect us and postpones results. Because, when we're working in this deeply personal part of our chart, and we're in this reflective energy and our rulers in retrograde, there's a need to slow down and take things a little bit easy in this energy, because you're going to be very sensitive in this energy. In fact, some of you may be hypersensitive to what you're feeling at this point. So I really want you to understand that what this has a lot to do with the revelation of realism versus the fantasy that you have created, the idealism. So realism versus idealism. I think as we reflect, we're going to be able to isolate and decipher that information a little bit easier, because we're basing it on past karmic cycles as well, things we've learned, wisdom that we've attained through those life lessons. And so it's a reflective point, but I like that it's coming up at the point where we're experiencing this new moon. This new moon that we're going to be having is going to be really aligning us with what we deeply desire at a very simplistic level. What do we need? What do we need on a daily basis to make us happy? The seed is, what is our wants? What is our desires? Tangibly and intangibly. So we need to understand what we need to be physically supported as well as mentally supported. So I think this is all about, now for you, this is pure reflection. Mercury at the time of the new moon is not aspected. It is it's very, very quiet. So to me, this suggests that what you're going to be working on is deeply personal, and you're not going to let anybody in on it. This is about creating a new beginning, and you have lots of new thoughts, and the seeds are starting to flourish, but you're being very selfish with the information because you're thinking it through before you externally express any of this information that's being processed at this time. The full moon is all about dealing with us on a very intense level. So for you, this also has to do with the patterns and the rituals and the habitual thinking that you have. I think is more important. So this has to do with your physical routines, your mental routines. It has to do with your work routines. You are really, really fine-tuning all of these things in your life. Now, as the energy is slowing down and you're getting a little bit more internal with these questions, you're getting a little bit more realistic about what you want. So all of this, again, is on that level of intensity. Understand there's a couple things that really inspire you, your feelings, because you feel everything, and the fact and how much you attach this intense desire to it, because when you're such a feeling individual, most everything has to have that pleasurable aspect to it to fuel you forward. So I think you're just getting down to the nitty-gritty of what it is you exactly feel, and that's that reflective point that we start to drop into. I love that Chiron is in a healing aspect to this. This has to do with your life path destiny. I think more important. I think your career is on your mind, but I think what you're really trying to do is align your expectation for what you want out of life with what you deeply desire at this point. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot brewing beneath the surface, and I think you really need to reflect. We have during the full moon, because usually a full moon is some sort of cumulative energy. Well, the cumulative energy I feel is that you're really getting to the point to where you're taking a look at your environment on a very simplistic level. Is it meeting your needs? Does it meet your wants? Is it supporting the schedule that you have to keep and the rituals that you have to do? I mean, is there somebody in your immediate environment, your family, that is really starting to support you on a very simplistic level? I think it's something that you're diving deep and asking yourself. Again, most of this is going on behind the scenes. You're not going to be letting a lot of people in. The people that you're going to be letting in are the people that are in your inner circle that you deeply trust, that will have your back in the end. I really believe that since Pluto is trining this full moon that's in Scorpio, Pluto rules Scorpio. So I think there's a sense of empowerment. How do you take back your power? How do you remain in power during a point where you're in this reflective period? Have you learned your lessons? Do you feel confident that you are moving away from these karmic, cycles that you've been on? Are you creating a new outcome that deeply supports what you see moving forward? All of that energy is going to be extremely beautiful. And I definitely believe that this cumulative energy has a lot to do with strength building in your mind and really aligning yourself with how confident you feel about your future. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I look forward to talking to you guys again next